Hi everyone, let us look into the gist of the novel Purple Hibiscus by Adichie. Adichie is a famous Nigerian writer, and one of her famous works is Half of the Hello Sun. And this Purple Hibiscus is also the most famous, and this was her first novel, and this is a must-read book for all of us. So, firstly, let us look into the characters of this novel. So, first is Kambli. Kambli is the narrator of this novel, and in many cases, we can find Kambli is silent throughout the entire novel, but only at certain places she raises her voice and she gives out her opinion. Apart from that, in many cases, it is found Kambli is very much silent. And second one is Jaja. Jaja is Kambli's brother. Jaja is totally opposite to Kambli because every time Jaja raises his voice, and Jaja is the one who reciprocates. So from this, we can come to know that female always remain to be silent in Nigerian community, and this is the patriarchal power is foreshadowed here because always Kamli remains silent, whereas only Jaja voices out his opinion. And the third important character is Eugene. Eugene is also called as Papa, and Eugene is Kambli's and Jaja's father. So Eugene is very much conventional in his attitudes. He was a pious man. He was attributed to Catholic ideologies and traits, and he always brings in domestic violence to the house. And because of this domestic violence, Kamli and Jaja are affected in many cases. The next character is Beatrice. Beatrice is also called as Mama in the novel. And Beatrice is Eugene's wife and Kambli's and Jaja's mother. And Beatrice also is very silent till the story, but only at the end she breaks that silence and she brings in the multiple perspectives, multiple traits of the story. So when we see about Papa, that is Eugene, Papa is very much, he's for the society. He's for the society and people loves Papa very much, and nobody hated Papa. And he also had a newspaper called Standard Newspaper, and all these Nigerian post-colonial effects are mentioned or attributed only in this newspaper. The society, the Nigerian society would love to look at this newspaper only, and it has all the incidents which are happening in the surrounding. So the next character is Aunt Ifeoma. Aunt Ifeoma is the aunt of Kambli and Jaja. So at one point of time when Kambli is taken to Aunt Ifeoma's house, she founds the purple hibiscus only at the Aunt Ifeoma's house for the first time, and when she looks at the purple hibiscus, she was very fond and she got fascinated towards that purple hibiscus, and somehow she has a passion to take that purple hibiscus to her home, and the things happen like this. And these are the most important characters in this novel. And now let us look into Adichie, why she has brought in the multiple perspectives of the story. Okay, so Adichie did not wanted to have single stories. She did not wanted to have single stories, and she did not believe in single stories. So she decided to have multiple perspectives of the people around Nigeria. So she has given and she has portrayed multiple perspectives of the people around Nigeria in this novel. So now let us look into this purple hibiscus. This purple hibiscus is a hybrid variety. As I said you earlier, this purple hibiscus was found only in Aunt Ifeoma's house. So now when we look at Aunt Ifeoma, she's a professor at the university, at the Nigerian university, and she has two kids. When we look into Beatrice, Beatrice is also very silent as calmly. Calmly is also very silent. In the same way, her mother is also very silent here. Only Jaja raises his opinion, and also Eugene is the one who brings in violence every time. And now let us look into the major aspects of this novel. And firstly, we can take religion. So there are two priests here, Father Mardi and Father Benedict. So there are these two priests. They would directly deal with religion. So one is associated with Eugene family, another priest is associated with Aunt Ephema's family. Let us look into some of the symbolisms of this novel. Firstly, we can take Palms. The story begins with Palm Sunday, and the first line states, "Things fall apart." So, what happened? What happened to the things? What had happened? So, we would have come across such questions like this in our mind. So, what happened on that Palm Sunday was Papa was very much angry that Jaja did not get communion in the church. So when they went to church on this Palm Sunday, Jaja refused to get communion because he said that that is a wafer and that gives me only bad breath. And conversation were going on between Papa and Jaja. And when Papa got angry, he suddenly started to throw the figurines. Figurines is a statue of the person, okay? So, and started to throw the figurines, and some of the palms were lying on the dining table. This Papa or Eugene, he wants everything to be neat and clear, crystal manner. So when he looks at the palm which was on the table, he was also very angry, and as a result he throws the figurines. And also in other case he's angry with the Jaja, and thus he throws the figurines, and the figurines are broken finally, and it is completely broken into pieces. And these leaves of palm Sunday are represented as hope and freedom. These palms are represented as the giving hope and freedom. And the second symbolism is lipstick. So when Kamli goes to Aunt Ephema's house, she sees red lipstick on a female face. Only at that time she sees red lipstick on a female face. And at earlier times she was not associated with such ladies, and she was not associated with any of the ladies who wear lipstick. And that is the time she realizes that even for females there is a true identity. Okay, and the third one is figurines. These figurines are associated with Mama, because always a figurines is a furniture, it is a statue of a person. Always Mama preserves these figurines. She cleans it once in a week, and she does all the measures to keep it safely. And every time when there is a violence at the house, these figurines would be broken. Let us see about these two fathers, Father Mardi and Father Benedict. These two has quite a lot of differences in them, because one is very much stringent about his ideas, another one is totally open to his ideas. So this openness or freeness gives Kamli a total change of the world, and she gets some hope and freedom. And now let us look about Aunt Ephema. So when Aunt Ephema calls Papa's children, Papa does not allow her children to Aunt Ephema's house, but at one point of time he sends her children to Aunt Ephema's house. And when they go to Aunt Ephema's house, they are very much shy and they don't know how to behave, and because they are new over to this customs and traditions, and Ephema also finds very difficult to associate with Kamli and Jaja. And now at the later point, we can see that there is a gradual change in the interference of Aunt Ephema, and Aunt Ephema is the one who gives them hope and freedom, and she gives them about the multiple perspectives of different environment. So at this point of time only, Kamli sees purple hibiscus, which is in Aunt Ephema's house. So when she sees this purple hibiscus, she's very much attached. She's attached to it, and we can say there is again a revival because it is a mixture of two cultures. We all know what is hybridization. It will be somehow a mixture of two things, and here Adichie portrays that Kamli is also a mixture of two cultures because she is also associated with Papa's family, and now she has come over to Aunt Ephema's family, and this also she says as hybridization. So this mixture of culture, it brings in the theory called hybridization. And this novel is also a Bildungsroman, and it is also a coming of age novel. So let us see why this novel is a coming of age novel, because Kamli is the narrator of this novel, and she never enjoys anything. Only when she turns into a mature person or a mature girl, she finds freedom where she is identified, and she finds her own identity only at the time when she becomes mature, and thus this is a coming of age novel. So what does the name Kamli mean? So this novel is full of Igbo languages because Adichie wanted to portray her culture, her community. So when Eugene children come to Aunt Ephema's house, they are very happy and they enjoy the association. And this Kamli means let me live. Kamli in Igbo means let me live is a meaning. So we can see at the end of the story, Beatrice kills her husband, but then instead of Beatrice, Jaja goes to prison. So only at the end, even Beatrice is able to find her own freedom. She is able to reciprocate, but then she goes into a mental state of disorder. And when we look about Papa's father, that is Kamli's and Jaja's grandfather, Papa is not very much associated with his father because he's not very much stringent in his religious or Catholic ideologies and beliefs. So Papa does not allow his children, that is Kamli and Jaja, to be associated with his father. So when they go to Aunt Ephema's house, Aunt Ephema takes them to his grandfather's house. And when they look at the grandfather, they are very much happy and they enjoy the presence of the grandfather. And thus, we can come to know from this novel that Adichie is telling multiple perspectives of the story. From the theory of hybridization as to the coming of age novel, she gives in multiple perspectives here. And only at the end of the story, Kamli finds her own identity, and only at the end she finds her own hope and freedom. She identifies her personality, and this hybridization, it happens only when she comes to Aunt Ephema's house, because only at that time she sees a purple hibiscus there, and this hybridization happens only when she comes to Aunt Ephema's house. And let me see, this novel has several themes from violence to hopefulness and freedom, and this is a mixture of various ideologies and beliefs.